Hi, everybody. This is our second community workshop this week. Yesterday, we had 5 TAs from our community organized an image generation workshop, also for Sachin's knowledge, context. But that one is focused more on basic stuff around how to use DALL-E, how to write a prompt. I think today we have a little bit more focus on storytelling with AI and how to use visual concept. I think this is a really, really important one, both for work, but also for our curriculum, tying together week 1 challenge, which is anchored around image generation, and week 2 challenge was around multimodality. One of the example I will be sharing in week 2, which is later this week on Friday, around how I actually use some of Sachin's tip on like generating a concept board to build a mini a musical for Anderson Cooper's mother, Gloria Vanderbilt. For those who are not from the U.S., Vanderbilt is one of the richest family, I think, back in the the 19th, 20th century, and they have quite a story. So I use that to build a storyboard using multimodality, have a theme song like a musical, and then some visuals. But the expert here is Sachin. Sachin and I met formally or informally through her. Hold on, Chris, can you help me like mute people?
I believe right now you are muted.
You unmute on Shivi.
Shivi, I think, yeah, we'll probably hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody hit the mute all, but yeah, we should be good. Please mute your mics, everybody, if you're not part of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. Great. So Sachin and I met during what I was his student at one of his creator accelerator program on Maven last December. I had a lot of fun. It was a creative December, coupled with holidays, so it's giving my creative juice going. A lot of the images and products that you saw. Actually, Sachin and Diana, just for your information, this week 1 about image generation, I show people how to use Segmai to do face swap. And my example was an Asian version of Hermione Granger, who's my hero when I grew up, as well as a duchesses in the Bridgerton era, influenced by the Netflix show. All right, without further ado, I want to give the floor to Sachin. Thank you so much for joining us. This session will be recorded, so for those who couldn't join, I got some complaint from India saying this is 3 a.m. or something like that they couldn't join. So we will record and we'll share the recording as well. And Sachin, if you have any resources that you'd like to share, I'm happy to share them in the community, but feel free to drop them in the chat as well. And yeah, we will continue to accept people, but you can get started.
Absolutely. And Shui, thanks for inviting me and having this wonderful presentation, and also telling me about the context of that you have been exploring image generation. And I think in today's demos, you'll also explore this multimodality part, how we can use an image to turn it into prompt, and we'll look at some really cool examples. So with that, I welcome everyone and thank you for joining this presentation. And today we are diving into an exciting topic. I'll show you how AI can transform your ideas into stunning visuals for your stories instantly and getting it done more affordable than ever. You don't need to be an expert designer or have deep technical knowledge of using AI and prompt engineering. And today you will discover how anyone can create powerful story visuals with simple step-by-step guidance. All right. So what you will actually learn at the end of this session is 2 things. Firstly, you will be able to concept character designs instantly based on your ideas. Some of these examples like you see over here. And secondly, you will be able to tell stories by controlling the character's action, expression, and background. And we'll walk through this step by step in a demo. All right, so drop a thumbs up if you are excited for this particular session. And with that, let's dive in. Seth Godin is one of the most influential marketers and thinkers of our time, and he recently said that AI is the biggest invention in our world and a bigger change than the internet. And if you followed the news of these latest AI models that we are seeing today, both in image and video generations, I believe we can all agree to this. The internet reshaped how we work, learn, and connect with each other. And right now, we have the potential to go even further by amplifying our creativity with AI and changing how we create, share, and experience these stories. And today, we'll see how this applies to visual storytelling. What you're seeing here is an image I generated with Flux Ultra. It's one of the best generative AI text-to-image models. And no, I didn't upscale this image to a high resolution. I didn't tweak it or spend hours perfecting it. This took me just 10 seconds. And any one of you can start creating images with it right now. Majority are not even aware that this is possible. The level of detail, the skin texture, the reflections in the eye, it's like we are stepping into a whole new level. And honestly, if this is where we are at today, you can only imagine what's coming next. I would first like to address the elephant in the room. And you have probably seen on social media a lot of people talking about AI, and there's a lot of hype as well. But less than 1% of them actually use it in their daily creative workflow. And those who use it effectively, they are doing more with less and are pushing the boundaries of what's really possible. There is also a very different picture painted when you see things on social media. There's a dangerous habit of thinking creativity flows in a simple straight line. That is, you have the input and you get the output. But this logic fails when applied to true creative work. It's a fundamental misunderstanding that we have been seeing. Real creation is a web of choices, revisions, and discoveries. It's not linear process at all. It's a complex network of paths. And creative process, it isn't always about efficiently moving from A to B, but about exploring and finding that C, D, E along the way, because this is actually what leads you to new ideas and discoveries along the way. And this is what we aim for. Let me quickly introduce ourselves. I'm Sachin Kamath. I'm an engineer and part-time artist turned creative technologist. This is my partner, Diana Sdivel. She's also on the call today. So if there are any questions, she'll help answer them in the comments. We train agencies, design teams, and build AI-powered creative solutions. Together, over the past 2 years, we have trained over 5,000 creative professionals across top brands. We are also the founders of Neolemon and ConsistentCharacter.AI. With our trainings, creatives have unlocked a unique competitive edge. And using this latest AI skills and the proven tactics, they are speeding up visual content production and driving higher profits. And now we have packaged all those best tactics into an AI-powered platforms that helps effortlessly produce these designs for any scene and tell stories without having to juggle multiple AI tools. My goal is to show you how AI can turn your big ideas into high-impact, beautifully branded stories. Like I said, I'm an artist and a designer at heart. I love painting and drawing. The images that you see here, they are not AI generated. These are my hyper-realistic drawings. My studies and background, though, is in engineering. So both art and technology are my passion. And naturally, I got very curious when I started using AI tools and these open source models to create AI-generated images and animations. Now we know that the future is definitely human and AI collaboration. And I believe you're all here because you have firsthand already witnessed the exponential progress of AI and what it can do when coupled with human creativity and our drive to create new things and build new experiences. And this exponential progress has happened just in the past 2 years. We keep seeing new updates coming up on all these models. Let's talk about the actual creative process involved. So creating AI visuals for storytelling starts with following a step-by-step process. First, you define the idea. Like, for example, what's the story? What emotions do you want to evoke? What kind of scene do you want to show? Then you write the prompts that guide the AI. And prompts are just detailed instructions. Like, for example, a young girl reading a book under a tree on a sunny day, right? Then the AI generates an image based on this. Next, you refine the visuals to match your vision. For example, you can adjust the action, expression, adding details, or tweaking the composition. It sounds like a lot, but don't worry, because these tools make it super simple to get to the final output. When you're crafting the prompts for each story scene based on a character, following this simple framework really makes it easy. So think about the details, like their features, like the hair, the eyes, and the clothing, and emotions, right? We need to add those emotions. For example, are they happy, sad, or surprised? And next, you decide on their actions. Are they walking, running, or reading? And finally, you place them in the right setting, a park, a library, or even a magical forest, for example. So this simple framework helps you guide AI to create consistent and meaningful visuals that align perfectly with your story. It's like building your character in a scene piece by piece until they feel real and evoke the right emotions in the observer. Now, all that being said, consistency is one of the biggest challenges when crafting story visuals with AI. Your characters need to look the same on every page, right? For example, imagine if your main character had red hair on one scene and blonde hair in the next scene, right? It would totally confuse your audience. So achieving consistency manually can take hours of effort, especially when showing characters in different actions and expressions. And this is exactly where AI helps you get that benefit and get those visuals out very quickly without having to spend hours and blowing your budget. And after hearing so many creators and marketers struggle with character consistency, we knew we had to start somewhere. And when OpenAI launched the GPT store, we decided to test an idea. I built a GPT called Consistent Character GPT. It was a free, simple solution that asked users a few basic questions about their character, like their features, emotions, and actions, and then generated the characters that you could use to tell your stories and create multiple images. At that time, we had a very small audience, and honestly, we didn't think it would go anywhere. But to our surprise, it gained traction very quickly, and people loved its simplicity and ease of use. You can, if you want, you can go to the GPT store right now and go to DALI and check for this particular GPT. It's a completely freely available tool that you can start using within the ChatGPT itself and start creating visuals. What happened next was incredible because creators worldwide started using Consistent Character GPT to craft visuals for their stories. And many even created these short animations with it. It kind of became a go-to tool for many professionals who didn't have the design background. And top YouTube content creators started sharing tutorials and inspiring others to try it out. This showed us the tool's potential. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it gave storytellers an accessible way to bring their ideas to life. Users of the GPT loved its simplicity, but also pointed out its limitations. Their feedback showed us what truly mattered, and that insight led us to build the ConsistentCharacter.AI as a standalone application. And that's the examples that you can see you can get done with ConsistentCharacter.AI. It's like having a personal illustration studio at your fingertips for your storytelling. But what makes it different versus other AI image generators out there? First, it offers consistency because your character's face, clothing will look similar across multiple scenes. Of course, it's not perfect, but we are constantly improving it. Secondly, it's convenient. You don't need to spend hours writing complex prompts. The tool simplifies the entire process for you. And finally, you are in control. You can customize the character's emotions, actions, and settings to match your story perfectly. Some of the examples over here, for example, you can first concept your character, then change the action, and then also change expression, and you can change background. as you go along that particular process of creating variations. And this is not just for storytelling in books and animations. It's perfect for lessons, training materials, and presentations as well. With just few clicks, you can create visuals that instantly make your content more engaging and memorable. And so whether you're teaching any materials, your storytelling, using storytelling, or presenting, this tool transforms how you connect with your audience. You also have the flexibility in creating using different styles. For example, Pixar, anime, photographic, 2D illustration, 3D cartoon, and we will take a look at this in the demo. A common question that we always get asked is, and you might be wondering as well, does this work for non-human characters? Yes, it does. You can concept non-human characters and also tell some stories around it and create those variations. All right, so with that, let's jump into the demo. We'll walk through the step-by-step process, and I will also show you some of the ways how it makes the whole from your idea to creating the visual as simple as possible without having to worry about prompt engineering. Right. I also have a resource. So what I'm going to do is I can drop the Notion document. So you will have this with you. If you want it later to refer to it, you can always do that. So you don't have to take screenshots of anything that I'm sharing. You'll have everything in there. Great. All right, so I hope you all see my screen. Great, so I'm perfect. So we are on ConsistentCharacter.AI. And when you sign up, you will have 12 free credits to try this out. And I'm going to walk you through step-by-step demo of how you can get this done. So when you first land on this dashboard, what you're going to see is there are a few features tabs over here. The first thing I would like to show you is the prompt easy. Now, this is designed keeping in mind that the biggest friction point for anyone to go from their idea to the final visual is the prompting process. Myself as well, and English is not my first language, I always struggle to get the English words, the phrases which I can use to describe. So this really helps me. It's like I can just describe what the character concept would be, just like talking to a friend. I can put it in here, and then it will help me create a much better prompt. So let's say I wanted to create this particular visual. I'm going to prompt easy. I'm going to paste my thoughts in here, just my concept. I'm saying a hiker standing on top of a mountain with his backpack looking at the sunset view, mountain landscape, right? So you can just freely type in your thoughts over here. Now I can click on Enhance Prompt. And what it's doing is it's designed to create a highly detailed prompt, which is great for creating visuals. So the first one is the character and the subject description. The second one is action and expression. And the third one is the background. And if you want to make any changes, you can simply select any of this and start making those changes, right? So right now, let me just use this. And as a next step, I want to create an image. So I'm going to click on Create Character. And as you see, it has already filled up the character description field, the action and expression field, and the background field. And I'm using Character Turbo. It is the second tab, so it directly takes all the inputs in here. Right now, all I got to do is select the style, and I can select 2D flat illustration, let's say, and I just select the aspect ratio 1:1 and hit generate. So this way, I can quickly take my idea, turn it into a highly detailed prompt, which is very structured for AI image generator, and then go ahead right away and create this visual. Take a look at that. Beautiful, right? So this way I can always change the styling and make different variations from here if I want to explore other styles in here. So that's the first demo I wanted to show you. Now let's try something else. Let's say you already have an inspiration, maybe a stock image, maybe actually this is a real example. I wanted to make a post on LinkedIn where I wanted to showcase problem solving skill as part of coaching, right? So I wanted to create a visual that signifies that. And my source of inspiration always is Pinterest. So I went on Pinterest and I found this particular image that I wanted. And by the way, I cannot use this directly. This is not like I cannot commercially use it, but I can create variations of it with AI image generation, and then use it as part of posting. I can use it commercially, right? So I would right click, save this image to my computer. I would go to ConsistentCharacter.AI, click on Prompt Easy. Now here, I'm going to select image to prompt. And I'm going to upload this image. It's going to analyze that particular image for me. Okay, there you go. So it's very good at finding every tiny detail what's in that particular image. And you can be sure that it's, even if there is a text in the image, it's going to pull that out. And it's saying the image shows a young man sitting at a desk with his head in his hands. He is wearing a white shirt and a yellow tie. Above his head, there are multiple question marks drawn in white chalk. The background is black and the man is reflected in the desk, right? So it's very detailed in understanding what's in the visual. So you don't have to worry about what is the prompts I need to use to create that specific image. By the way, it's taking the image and turning it into a prompt, and then it's generating the image with the prompt. So now I can click on create character. I can select photographic because I wanted to create a post for my LinkedIn in a photographic style to really pull attention of the audience, right? You really want to grab attention of the audience and show them some emotions as part of the visual. There you go. So what I can do is sometimes it might take multiple generations to get to the output. So I can simply just use the same prompt and create more variations, or I can make changes over here. For example, it's very good at prompt adherence as well. White shirt, yellow tie, question marks over the head. There you go. We have another variation. So you're never short on ideas in here. And you can use the same prompt to create as many variations as you like and reuse it for your other content that you want to post or create. Great. Now, these two examples show you how you can go from, and this is also using multimodality workflows, right? So now you're using an image to then create a prompt. You are also enhancing the prompt and then creating an image. So this is wonderful and gives you a lot more flexibility in turning your ideas to the final visual. Now let's get into something really interesting. And that's creating these story visuals using this particular process. I'm going to click on Character Turbo, and I have to describe my character, action and expression, background. So I'm going to use this example that I have. My character is going to be an young Irish boy with red messy hair, green eyes, wearing green sweater, jeans, and white sneakers. As simple as that. I can select Pixar animation style. My action and expression is going to be standing. And background, I'm just going to keep the background very plain and simple. I don't want to complicate it right now. So it's going to be a plain white background. And I'm going to hit generate. By the way, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. We can always answer them at the end. And there you go. I have my first image. Now, if I'm not happy with this, I can always generate more variations. But now comes the interesting part. To make variations and start telling stories, what I will do is I'm simply going to change the action and expression. I'm not going to touch the character because I want consistency, right? So there is also some information in here if you want to go through. So I'm going to keep this the same, but I'm going to change the action and expression step by step to then start creating variations. I can say standing and showing thumbs up and hit generate. I'm going to keep my fixed character on. So I just made a very small change. I just added showing the boy is showing thumbs up. Yep, there you go. So that was my first image, and that's the second image. And you have everything in the same window. You can always come back and continue from where you left. Let's start making more variations. Standing and looking up. Hit generate. Yep, there you go. So I have this. Now let's try something else. Let's change it to running towards the camera. Let's try that. Sometimes you might need to experiment a bit, right? It's an AI model, so you need to probably do multiple generations until you nail down what you like. Yeah, there you go. Now it did change some of the features, but I can always iterate and get it to closer to what I'm looking for. I'm going to show you one example over here of this one. So that was the first character that I made. There's the second character, third character, and as you see over here, standing and looking up. I'm just making changes one by one, standing and showing thumbs up. Standing with a very happy wide smile. Running towards the camera. Now I started adding background, coastal village background, and I have that. Then I said green park background, and I have this. Walking towards the camera, and I have this, right? So this way you can do a whole lot of variations, jumping in the air, and I have this. So it's wonderful in starting to create small variations and then start telling a story. Now you can download each of these images to your computer, take it into Canva, take it into Figma or Photoshop, whatever is your choice of software, and then make more changes from there, or even, start telling, write the text that you want, as part of the storytelling. If it's supposed to be a book illustration, you can do that as well. So you have all the flexibility once you get these images in here. All right. So with that, I would love to know, just drop a thumbs up if this is clear. If you want me to repeat anything, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm happy to answer or take any of them.
This is so cool, right? Sachin, you get all the thumbs up. I think this is really cool. It's giving me an inspiration too. This week, I'm going to send out the recording for those who needs a refresher, as well as, Sachin, if you can if you already have like a Notion tutorial on how to use this step by step that you don't mind sharing, that would be awesome. And any like credits for people to try and play with, I'm going to share. I'm also going to incentivize people to use it by giving out a little Moscow for this community and have people make stickers around it, because the winning 30 stickers, we're going to print them out and send it globally for people to have fun and own after the beta program. So I'm figuring out the logistic for printing and stuff. But if the community can chime in, show us what you learn, in case you don't have a character or a story, we have a community character for you to play with. Thank you so much. Sachin, I'm going to throw a hot take for you. Can we get some additional credits as part of beta program to try?
Yeah, so we're fully bootstrapped on this one, but we are happy to give you some additional credits if you can. I think Diana dropped a link for the step-by-step guide, and Diana is right over here now. So with that, you will be able to find that email, support@ConsistentCharacter.AI. Maybe you can just drop us an email and tell us what you're doing, how will you use it, and we definitely can add a few more credits. Happy to do that. And yeah, I mean, we will have our AI Creative Accelerator on March 18th. This is our 12th cohort. And if you want to deep dive into all the use cases of how you can use AI image video generation, that would be a wonderful platform to master all of these skills as well.
That's amazing. Do we have a question from the community? Or
I have a question. Can you hear me? This is Neka.
yes.
Hi, Neha. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sachin, for the presentation. That was awesome. Also great to see like there's actually a tool out there that we can actually use to maintain consistent character when we're actually creating with the AI generator tools. When I was doing week one's assignment, one of the frustration or challenges I faced was actually like, once I gave I used Dale actually for week one's assignment. When I prompted it the first time, and I went to optimize and make iterations, I noticed that each new creative was actually different from the prior one. So it was really good to see it's good to have a tool that actually maintains consistent characters. But my question for you is, why isn't like a tool like Dale already baked into why isn't that kind of functionality baked into like a tool like Dale? Like, why does it have to generate a new image over and over again?
All right. Neha, I'm sorry, if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but so usually what AI image generation does is there is the diffusion process that is happening on the back end, right? So it's the forward diffusion, reverse diffusion process. What happens in the reverse diffusion process, it's starting from complete noise, and then it's generating the image. And because this noise is completely random, it has to do the entire iterative process to get to the final output. And every single time there is a new change, because the whole process is probabilistic. So it does, like if it's just about text to image generation, it has to create this complete image from that complete noise. Now, the other way to get more control or to just affect only specific regions of the prompt of the image is to do regional prompting. And you might have seen this in AI image editor, like in painting, out painting. So you can only mask the specific area, and there you have the noise added, and then the prompt guides. But here here it really works if the model overall is very good in understanding the context of what's outside the mask and inside the mask. And I think we will see improvements of the models over there where it understands the context better and better. And we will, of course, probably have a workflow like that when we have a very highly intelligent model that will have the context of the overall image and will get the perfect stuff in the masked area that we need.
Got it. Super helpful. Thank you.
Next question. We have someone who raised their hand. Hold on one second. We have quite a bit of question. Sachin, I know we only have, we initially set the meeting till 9:30 for 30 minutes. I'm okay staying and we'll continue to record. It's up to you if you can stay and answer more questions.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay up for another 5-10 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So we have Sai.
Yeah, hi, hi Sachin. So I'm still in that awestruck mode seeing this tool. And trust me, I'm a learning experience designer and I'm based out of Austin, Texas. So my recent stint was in Amazon and I have explored many Amazon-based tools for the similar purposes, okay, from the AWS package. And trust me, maybe my exploration stopped in between. And I was thinking something on the similar lines when I try to connect the dots in my mind, because as learning experience designer to have an e-learning module or to have a training module, we always want a consistent character who is the trainer. And this is where I was stuck. And since 3-4 months, I'm trying to figure out how I do address this gap. And thanks to this session, which really made me fill this gap. And my next process is because, I mean, as I keep trying to, leverage AI for all the work tasks that I do, for storyboarding, yes, all the visual design tools are going to help me. For storytelling now, you have given me this tool. My next task would be, adding voiceover. I mean, there are many other tools. I mean, but I'm just trying to figure out, especially because after this project, or this complete learning process, my project that I'm going to take myself is to create the workflow that you had mentioned earlier. So what can you suggest the best AI tool? I don't want the manual tools, the best AI tool which can help in adding voiceovers.
So there are multiple tools that can do that. I mean, and there are multiple workflows to get that done as well. In fact, we have done some demos part of this and run some of those examples. One thing that comes to my mind, one workflow is you can create the voice, clone the voice with 11 labs, and then use a lip syncing model to then combine them together. Or you can use platforms like, I know that there is HeyGen, then there is DID, but DID only works for photorealistic stuff. You can also get photorealistic images through ConsistentCharacter.AI. But if it's an illustration, then it's challenging. And HeyGen is what I've seen works well if you want to animate or lip sync the character. And there are new models. There are also open source lip sync models that are coming up. And this is going to get better. The challenge that I've seen here is the movement will not be natural. So, well, it's not so expressive. So you will have the entire body being static and just the face moving, which might lead to people not being engaged with it so much. So we still have challenges there. I haven't seen a model that is amazing at doing all that emotive actions, expressions, and that movement. You will only find models that are really good at lip syncing and dubbing right now.
Okay, yeah, got it. Just a small follow-up for that. Like, for example, I want to mimic a scene wherein I want to mimic a, face-to-face classroom. A trainer asking a question to all the, audience. Now, do you think that workflow, having the consistent images through consistent character, AI, GPT, whatever, And then having the HeyGen and voiceover AI tool will help you, do this process.
Yeah, yeah. So that will definitely help. But there are also, depending on what output you're looking for, I can also suggest using voice cloning and then lip syncing instead of using HeyGen, because HeyGen is very specific to a use case. So there are other models that are out there. I've seen a couple of them recently, and I'm also experimenting with them, and we have launched some of those examples. On my LinkedIn, I was posting them recently, so you might find some inspiration there. Maybe that is going to help you. So it really depends on what is the output that you're looking for, and based on that, I can you can look at if you just want to do use the image and do the lip syncing, or if you want to clone the voice and then do the lip sync and do those emotive actions.
Okay, I know, Sachin, you have some time side. If you have more question, follow up separately. I do want to give opportunity to Natalie and Heather. Natalie, do you still want to ask the question, or you drop off?
Yeah, really quickly, I'm just trying to understand how it works, Sachin. So you may not disclose what models are behind it, but what do we need to have? Like, do we need to, if we want more than 4 tries at this and we pay for a subscription, what are we getting? Are we just getting character AI? Are we getting access to ChatGPT with the DALL-E plugin? Like, I wasn't quite clear what the
Consistent Character GPT is completely free. It's on the GPT store, so you can just go to ChatGPT, search for Consistent Character GPT, and you will be able to use it. That's through ChatGPT subscription. We are not getting anything from that, so you can keep using it as much as you want, based on the subscription that you have with ChatGPT. Right now, the ConsistentCharacter.AI is an application specifically to do this. So as part of that, you will be able to do follow the approach that I showed you as part of the demos today. And there are a couple of other options that I didn't show you, which is create an avatar. Like, you can upload your photo and turn it into a illustration or like a comic avatar. And then there is also change expressions, where you can move the head movements and change the expressions just for the face to get more granular control, which is something that you cannot prompt every single time. So those are the things that you will have as part of using the tool. It's separate from ChatGPT. It has nothing to do with the GPT. It is a completely different standalone application, and does the things that I showed you today in the demo.
Okay, so I'm just a little bit confused. If we use the plugin within ChatGPT, we're not actually getting all the functions.
No. So the GPT was just, think of this as an MVP, which we were building and launching, which people were using, and you can still use it. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was confused. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have Heather.
Thanks, Sachin, for first being a design creator, artist. And then my question here is, let's say I come up with the universal prompt along with picture uploads, like 2 of them, and want to mesh them into a character that I will consistently use, but with a universal prompt that I'm set with. Is there any way to automate that? Because I'm looking for automation based on my universal prompt. So it will create based on uploads on just pictures, but my universal prompt will be the same. The output would be just differentiated from there. Is there an automation for that?
What's your universal prompt? What's it about?
So let's say I make a universal prompt like you did based on characters, right? One looking up.
For a character, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
For a character, always running towards the camera. If I make a universal prompt, and the only differentiator here is just my uploads, right? My picture uploads, but it still uses the universal prompt. Is there a way to automate that? Because I'm looking for automation.
Okay, so you will use the image uploads as an inspiration for the action expression to tell a story, but you will have a universal character prompt that needs to stay consistent.
Correct.
There is no automation for that. This is something that you'll have to custom build or custom code. You can build GPTs for this. I can think of building GPTs around it, but no, you cannot do this within the application. You will have to follow the same demo process, the process that I showed you, where you will extract the action and expression from each of that image and then prompt it individually and create those image variations.
Thank you.
Okay, I know we're at time, so maybe if folks have more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and maybe Diana or Sachin can respond them off asynchronously offline, or you can reach out to Sachin via LinkedIn. And yeah, Sachin, we will do a recap of all the resources that you share, mostly the Notion page, and then I'll link to your course as well. Yeah, automation, build an agent. Maybe that's coming. I know Segmai has some workflow, but maybe not yet using your consistent AI stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. So the latest one, this particular workflow is not in there, and you'll find a lot of models also on Replicate, on Hugging Face if you're exploring over there. But yeah, this something unique that we are always trying to improve. And I think the links, Diana is just dropping them. Thank you, Diana. So if you would love to connect with myself and Diana and ask any questions or share about this workshop, would be super helpful. And I hope you all enjoyed this particular demo, and guess you'll start exploring and start telling stories with visuals and see how simple and useful it is to right now to visualize your ideas and take advantage of it. So thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure. And thank you, Chevy, for inviting me over here.
So Sachin, I have just one final maybe logistic question. Was the initial credits only 4 credit? And then how you can create one image, or how many images can people play with?
You can create 3 images. It's 12 credits. Okay. So you'll be able to create, like, each image is 4 credits, and the prompt that is completely free. So the prompt is completely free. And the image generation, because image generation is a pretty heavy workflow, and it costs us, every single image generation costs us as well in terms of the GPUs. So that is, we just have 12 credits for it. But if you're serious about exploring this and you have a use case that you want to build around, we are happy to provide you a few additional credits. So you can email us at support@ConsistentCharacter.AI.
I have an amazing idea. Hi, everyone, guys. I was answering your questions in the chat, and thank you so much. There are so many kind words that you have shared. That's amazing. If you can go to LinkedIn and post, how did you enjoy the session today, and tag me, Sachin, I will add this information in the link tree as well, what steps you need to do. I will reach out to you and assign you right away free credits in the next days.
Yeah, that'll be easier. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then also, Danish and Sachin, thank you so much again. So from the timeline perspective, we have a lot of activity going on in the community. So I try to consolidate all my communication. So my next big communication will go out on Friday. That's where I will list a challenge for the community to crowdsource them to use my little white yellow man mascot and have people use that as a consistent character to create stickers. The best ones that we voted will get actually print. And so there I will talk about the LinkedIn sharing requirement, because we incentivize people to share on LinkedIn as well. So there, if you offline, you want to send me email, works better for me because I can't keep track of LinkedIn. But if you can email me what you want folks to do, I'm happy to work with you on that. If you can send me like today, tomorrow, we'll get that ready for Friday. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Again, I'll drop the recording inside the community as well as our Notion guide. You guys should go to Notion because that's where all the source of truth are. And so if you haven't formed the habit of using it, you should go there. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sachin, and thank you, Diana.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.